Welcome! This is Last Week TeenPact, and I'm your host, Seth Wyatt. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's jump straight into current news in TeenPact. We're reaching the very end of the 2016 TeenPact season, as Survival East concluded last week in Georgia. There are just 2 events remaining, and those are Venture and ASAP, which stands for Advanced Survival Adventure Program. Both events are later this month, and they both take place in the state of Tennessee. Once these are concluded, the dreaded 2 months of no TeenPact events will commence, and TeenPact will be in full 2017 preparation mode. Speaking of preparing for 2017, TeenPact 4-day registration continues to set a record pace as registrations in the month of September alone totaled an astonishing 1,800 4-day students. This does not include all of the 1-day classes, which are filling up quite nicely. Keep up all the good work of recruiting, and keep telling all of your oh wait, never mind. You're a bunch of homeschoolers. You don't have friends. Tonight, for our main story, we're going to be discussing an important pillar of our nation, and one that very few people seem to want to acknowledge or follow. And no, we're not discussing the Constitution, you bunch of nerds. We're discussing the TeenPact media policy. The media policy has been a hallmark of our program since its inception, even though it's just a practical application that has changed significantly. In the 1990s, if you wanted to sneak away to call your crush back home, you would have to covertly break away from the group at the Capitol and use a payphone. But let's put aside our jokes for the moment, because the media policy is pivotal to the ministry, and quite often we don't treat it that way. We think it will be no big deal if we just sneak a peek at our Facebook or Instagram feeds, but when we do so, we're doing 3 things, all of which are detrimental to the week experience. First, we are disobeying authority, which is strictly against Scripture. Don't get me started on civil disobedience. We're not going to talk about that right now. Just go with us, okay? Civil disobedience and the media policy, we're moving on. Second, we're distracting ourselves. We're putting our minds and our thoughts elsewhere, and we're not maintaining our focus in the present and in the week. And by doing this, we're distracting others by our non-compliance and our disregard for authority. This is not pursuing the excellence which we are called to do. And third, we are distracting from our time at TeenPact. Either you or your parents or someone on this green earth paid good money for you to be there, and you, by wasting time on your phone, are missing incredible opportunities for fellowship and learning. The media policy is intended to encourage us to spend quality time and promote deep and meaningful conversations. Furthermore, it removes a potential debate over different standards and provides a mutual relational foundation from which to relate to one another and build each other up. Fostering an environment for friendships and spiritual growth is a critical part of the ministry, and you can help create that environment by your willingness to comply with the media policy. Believe it or not, folks, your friends will like you even if you miss a couple of their Instagram posts because you're at TeenPact. Breaking a 2-day Snapchat streak, however, totally different story. They'll hate your guts, don't do it. Bad. Anyway, all joking aside, if your friends cannot survive an entire week without seeing a blurry, grainy, close-up, bad quality image of your face, then perhaps Friends was a generous title in the first place.
Such a blunder, sometimes it makes me wonder why I even bring the thunder.
Why he even brings the thunder?
Now, despite the fact that TeenPact discourages the use of media at their events, they and we, and certainly me personally, absolutely recognize the value media plays in our modern culture. The media policy is certainly not intended to be a statement that media is inherently evil. Far from it. Media is a fantastic way to share ideas, stay connected, and honestly have deep and meaningful conversation. Even though as homeschoolers, I'm sure you've never even touched a phone. I mean, what? We here at TeenPact Comedy are doing this through the world of humor and entertainment. It's a fantastic way to bring the national TeenPact community together, and we're trying to create an atmosphere that promotes a cheerful and tight-knit community among TeenPacters across the country. In fact, if you didn't catch our recent video about the expansion of our project, check it out in the description below. The gist of it is that we're officially expanding to 2 pages, one for memes and one for everything else, including this program. So make sure you go follow TeenPact Comedy on Instagram and like TeenPact Comedy on Facebook to stay updated. And also check out our brand new website, the master hub of all our content, teenpactcomedy.weebly.com. And especially check out the bios. They're pretty great. Part of TeenPact's mission is to engage the culture, and one of the biggest ways we can do this is to be active and responsible in our contributions with media. And speaking of media, that reminds me, Gary Johnson is running a pretty good media campaign. You should check out that third option. Anyway, TeenPact is so serious about the effect media has on our society that there's a journalism track at TeenPact Congress where students can step into the role of the press and the media for one whole week to write newspapers, produce TV updates, and all those other things that the media does on the exploits of the quite dramatic Congress, of which there was another Seth Wyatt that I'm completely unrelated to that was a part of. But even more than this, in a blog post from October 2015, Aaron Watson, former TeenPact Director of Operations and full-time terrorizer of first-time students, actually said in response to a question about the next alumni event that he wants, I quote, "I would love to see TeenPact start an alumni event called Media Academy, training youth to understand both the structure and the power of the film industry, as well as broadcast and print journalism. Storytelling plays a unique and influential role in shaping our culture, and seeing talented TeenPacters entering the media world and dedicating their work to Christ is something I would love to see. While initial plans are in the works to develop this event, there are still significant hurdles to clear before it can be made available. Still, though, through prayer and perseverance, we look forward to being able to announce the plans for the first Media Academy in the near future as we seek to train a generation of influential storytellers." So, that's fantastic, I think. From this quote, it does seem likely that we would be seeing a new alumni event about the media in the future. So we'd like to present our take on what TeenPact Media Academy would look like.
I believe there is a media void in our society. A need for Christians to influence the places and change the things. A need to learn about the deep effects media and journalism can have upon our culture. And a need to learn how to create the perfect Bible verse Instagram selfie. Where Canon cameras and chronological study Bibles unite to share a common message, defend the faith in media, and catch all of the Pokemon. TeenPact Media Academy is a brand new event that teaches youngsters of the Christian faith how to influence their peers using all of these newfangled gizmos and gadgets. It's for all TeenPact alumni, and we can't wait to see you at TeenPact Media Academy.
So, if you like that idea for an alumni event, be sure to let us know in the comments. Maybe the office will take notice. It'd be pretty awesome if they did, right? So, in the meantime, while you're waiting and while you're taking forever to type those comments, because we know as homeschoolers that you don't get on the computer that often, you should go and take our quizzes at teenpactcomedy.weebly.com. Read the bios for sure, they're awesome. Give a nice round of applause to our cameraman Dylan. I hope you're all clapping, because one person clapping is really anticlimactic. Also, give a shout out to all of our writers and all of our team at TeenPact Comedy, and a shout out to Brent Buterbaugh for his awesome editing skills, and for being a little obsessive compulsive. It's okay. We need that in a director. I need that. It's great. So, thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow TeenPact Comedy on social media to stay updated for future episodes. I'm Seth Wyatt, and this has been Last Week TeenPact.